uno ya está con las luces de emergencia. Que, tío, no te ya, pero que no se pare.
Pasa de guiño, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
The rains caused flooding and fallen trees in several areas of Seville. The Tiro de Linea neighborhood is one of the most affected areas. The heavy rains that hit the city this Friday caused the first floods, especially in the capital. This was reported to this newspaper by the emergency services, who stated that since 11 a.m. they had received numerous incidents on the streets of the capital caused by the heavy rains. The Tiro de Linea neighborhood is one of the areas most affected. The situation is so serious that residents have opened manholes along the streets to clear the floodwaters from their streets. It is worth noting that the cross of the prisoners of Tiro is scheduled for this Friday afternoon through the streets of the neighborhood. Remaining flood warnings are reported on Avenida Villas de Cuba, Juan Sebastián Elcano Street, Esteban Marquez Street, and at the intersection of the A4 and SC 30. Other impacts of the storm include the fall of trees on Pedro Salinas Street and the temporary closure of the Almaty stop on the Seville Metro. Heavy rains in Seville flood Nervión, Reina Mercedes, and Los Arcos. In Luis de Morales, next to the tram line, water has completely covered the sidewalk area of the Nervión Plaza shopping center. Storm Nuria caused localized flooding in several areas of Seville on Friday, including Avenida Luis de Morales, the back streets of Reina Mercedes, and the Los Arcos area, among others. The problem was mainly caused by the sudden fall of large amounts of water in a very short time, according to sources in Emasesa. In Luis de Morales, next to the tram line, water has completely covered the sidewalk area of the Nervión Plaza shopping center. The large pool of water has hampered pedestrian traffic and closed access in certain points. In Reina Mercedes, flooding was reported on Monzon and Periodista Ramon Reeses streets. Images show that the water reached the edge of the entrance to the apartment building in the area next to the Claret School. At this point in Seville, work is being completed on the water collector on Avenida Paz de Ribera, very close to the flooded area, which is being carried out by the Hydrographic Confederation of the Guadalquivir, CHG. The accumulation of tree leaves in the gutters can also be a problem at this time, as it makes it difficult for the water to drain. In Los Arcos, the water has also caused major flooding. The storm is expected to bring strong winds, rain, and thunderstorms throughout this Friday. Its impacts will be especially noticeable in the western part of the Iberian Peninsula. The province of Seville will also be affected. The State Meteorological Agency, EMET, has issued a yellow warning for heavy rain and storms throughout the province of Seville. The warning will be active from midnight on Friday until 1759. Accumulations of 50 liters are expected in 12 hours. There is also a warning of storms and strong gusts of wind. The heavy rains recorded in Seville forced the closure of the Almaty station this Friday, resulting in the suspension of metro services on that section of Line 1. According to the Seville Metro, trains only operate between Ciudad Expo and 1 Degree de Mayo, and at the other end of the route, between Olivar de Quintas and La Plata. The disruption affects travelers using the diversion line, which will remain out of service until further notice. Authorities advise checking the status of the network before traveling and following the instructions of station staff. As a result of the incident, the network was divided into two operational parts. On the one hand, trains operate between Ciudad Expo and Primero de Mayo, and on the other, between Olivar de Quintas and La Plata. Amati Station remained closed and out of service until around 2:50 p.m., when the company itself reported through its official account on the social network X, formerly Twitter, that the incident had been resolved. The traffic disruption coincided with the activation of the yellow warning for rain and thunderstorms issued by the State Meteorological Agency, EMET, which was in effect throughout the day in Seville. In total, according to sources from the 112 emergency service who have told El Español, there have been 60 incidents in the province of Seville, 50 of which occurred in the capital. The incidents caused by the heavy rain occurred mainly on public roads, where several sections were flooded. Several commercial premises and some underpasses were also affected, as confirmed by 112. Strong gusts of wind are also suspected of being the cause of the damage suffered by the province due to Storm Nuria. 112 has confirmed that, so far today, they have received a dozen warnings about the wind, mainly due to branches and some fallen trees. They say that the most affected areas are Reina Mercedes, Avenida de la Palmera, Cardinal Bueno Monreal, and the Nervia neighborhood.
Creo que el comunal es que mira por dónde llega el agua, tú.